2, Episode 2, Take 1.
Hey friends! Welcome to Sunnyside Farms. You tuned in to another episode of Sunnyside Live. Our theme for this year is Words to Live By. I'm Wendy the Wordsmith, and today I'm bringing to you the word nurturing. I happen to have with me, I always keep a dictionary in the garden. This is Merriam-Webster's Children's Dictionary today. Because of the small print, I'm going to put on my cheaters. You have to keep those around too. I'd like to read to you what the word nurturing means. It can be a verb used with an object, nurturing, as in to feed and protect, to support and encourage, as in during the period of training or development, to foster, to bring up, to train, to educate. Or it can be a noun, rearing, upbringing, training, education, or the like. Development, like to nurture leaders. Nurture is defined as to feed, train, or develop someone or something. It's someone or something that provides support or nourishment. An example of nurture would be a mare raising a foal and a human assisting as needed. A nurturing person like you, as a nurturing person like you, is someone who's helpful and someone who can genuinely benefit from your help, loves that nurturing. To nurture is to advance, to cultivate, to encourage, to foster, to further, to incubate, and of course to nourish. 5 ways to develop and nurture leaders might be to identify and communicate what a successful leadership looks like, to foster a culture of risk-taking, use knowledge sharing as a tool for leadership development. It's important to offer opportunities that expose leaders with different business perspectives with one another. I think we'll see a little bit of that today. And to create strong ties between leaders and mentors. Now, although they just sort of scattered away, I have 3 puppies in my life that we have a session of nurturing every single day. Now, when you get up in the morning, what do you do to nurture yourself? Well, I like to brush my teeth, and sometimes I comb my hair. I always wash my face. I think that's pretty important. Sometimes I put some lotion on and really think it's important to wear sunscreen. But my puppies, they have their own routine. Oh, Coop, come here, Coop. He's not all that interested right now, but they probably know what's coming up. So in my little kit, every morning the dogs get their teeth brushed. This is their enzymatic toothpaste. Here's their brush. Yep, it's true. Then after that, if their breath still kind of stinks like dog breath, we do these dental wipes, on all sides, canines, everything. Oh, we might have a volunteer. After that, we have these little ear wipes because sometimes they have floppy ears and things get trapped down in there. So I just take one of these little wipes and I put it on my pinky because that's the smallest finger to get in that ear canal. And I take it and I just wipe around in there, and they're pretty patient about that. And then, of course, they get their face washed. Similar type of deal, one of these little wipes. I wipe their eyes and their mustaches because maybe they just had breakfast and they're very dirty. And of course, they get their hair brushed. Right now they have short hair, so that's nice. And they're ready for the day. So I asked you before, but think about it again. What do you do to nurture yourself and others, maybe your 4-legged friends or your parents or your siblings, at your own home? How do you help them nurture themselves, and how do you help yourself each day going out into maybe school and into the world? I think I know someone who's one of our family members who could tell us a little bit about nurturing ourselves. Jean, what do you have to share with us today?
I practice yoga daily in order to help give myself a little self-care and some nurturing. And I also teach yoga, so I'm going to teach you a few poses. We won't spend a lot of time in them because I just want to show you the practice that I use oftentimes at night before I go to bed, because at the end of the day, we've had so much going on during the day. day. So many phone calls, so much busyness, so many camps, so many activities, and things can feel overwhelming, so then it gets a little challenging to go to sleep at night. In order to nurture my own well-being, I practice these 5 yoga poses that are really useful. So let me just show you how to do them. We always start yoga just gently sitting up straight. Maybe we rub our hands together. We have lots of nerve endings in our fingers and in our hands, so we just press our hands together, wake up those nerve endings, and press them together and bring them to our heart center, and we breathe. Intentional breathing is a pretty amazing gift. It's super nurturing. And then I'll begin by just going into child's pose, also called Balasana, which is child's pose in Sanskrit, an ancient Indian language. And we bring our toes together and we open our knees nice and wide to about the width of our mat. And then we place our hands down as we fold over and let your belly come between your thighs and forehead comes to the ground. Now ideally you would stay in that pose for 3 or 4 breaths, or maybe even 5 minutes. But I'm just showing you these poses today. So that is Balasana, or child's pose. The next pose I really like at the end of a stressful day is called reclining butterfly. It can also be called Supta Baddha Konasana, which is, again, I'm using the Sanskrit words for these yoga poses. So it's reclining butterfly or reclining down angle. So what happens is we lay down on our backs, bring the heels close to the pelvis, and then we bring the soles of our feet together, letting the legs open like a butterfly. Now, sometimes this stretch is a little too much for folks, so you can take a pillow and put it under your thigh to release some of the pressure of that. And then let your hands come to your chest. Left hand over your heart, right hand on your belly. And again, we just close our eyes and just relax the breath. The next posture that I like to do is called supine spinal twist. Sometimes we call it cat stretch. And in Sanskrit, it is Uttara Paravatasana, which is a hard word to say. So we start out on our back. So we've been now in our butterfly. And to stretch out from that, we stretch the legs out. Bring the left leg into the chest, 3 to 5 breaths, or 5 to 10 minutes, whatever works. You know, sometimes we don't have a lot of time at night before we need to get those legs turned off and get ready for bed. So you can just do 3 or 4 breaths. So we'll do next supported fish pose. So this is a really good one. If you have a nice long pillow, you take the pillow and you put it right at the base of your spine so that you can feel it against your butt. And then we stretch the legs out in front of us and carefully lean back over the pillow, relax the head, and just release all the pressure in your shoulders. Let your palms face up and just relax. And in Sanskrit, that is Matsyasana. So that's reclining fish. And then finally, this is one you can do on its own. You don't have to do any of the other 4 beforehand. This is called the king of restoration poses. And it's basically just putting your legs up the wall. And this one is really amazing. If you've had a hard day full of tests and full of competition and full of stress, this posture lets go of all of it. I had one teacher tell me once that 15 minutes of legs up the wall will actually restore you as much as 2 hours of a nap. So we bring our butt as close to the wall as we can, and then we bring our body down. Legs just go straight up the wall. Get your backside real close and give yourself an opportunity to just stretch your arms out. Let your legs reach up the wall. flex your feet and then relax them and just let everything go. 15 minutes in legs up the wall is just as powerful as 2 hours of sleeping. Very restorative, very nurturing. And then to get out of it, we just roll over to the side and press up. And those are 5 of my favorite postures for self-nurturing and restoration, and I hope that you can practice some of them at home. It's worthwhile. Thank you. Hello, it's me, Ivy. I'm Sahara, and this is Fish. And we're here to talk about how to cook your chicken wings. So what you need is sharp scissors, which I have right here, and a chicken, an escapee chicken. And step 1, catch the chicken. You can see we have the chicken right here. Step 2, hold firmly, or get the other person to hold the chicken. As you can see, Sahara is holding the chicken. Want to make sure to only cut the primary feathers and not the warming feathers, which is the warming feathers are right here, and the primary feathers are the longer ones. They're also called flight feathers. And step 5, you only need to cut feathers on one wing. That's what we're going to do. So you're going to come up, and just so you know, this is easier with 2 people. And you're going to come up and you're just going to trim this wing right here. There. Now, you're done. That's pretty much it. And now we're gonna move on to another farm friend, Chris. Good job.
Hello, it's Chris again. And last week I forgot to explain the reason that I use sign language. I am a retired speech therapist and teacher of the deaf. And I have learned to sign and enjoy it, and it's a wonderful tool to share with others. Nurture also means to care and encourage. There's not one specific sign for nurture. We have many different signs that we use. So encourage, to take care of, to help. And today I'm going to talk about kind of a first aid kit that we use for our own pets. So at home, if you have dogs, cats, birds, whatever, inside here are a few things to use also. Cream if needed, but sometimes the animals, you need to be careful and nourish them, because if they lick this, they could become sick. So be sure, and also if and when you take care of your pet, also call your vet to be sure what you're doing is appropriate, and then you possibly may need to bring them to the vet. The other thing to remember is always keep your face away from your animal, because when they're hurt and scared, most often they will bite because they want to kind of get away from the situation. They're really afraid, and even though you're the person that helps them, they want to get away from the situation. So just remember to take care of yourself and your animal. Sometimes never use kind of our human band-aids, because that sticky adhesive will pull off their hair. So wrap it with gauze, and then you can use some adhesive. Sometimes if an animal is bleeding, you may need to stop it and make a tourniquet. And here is one here but you can use like a tie, a strap, something you want to put pressure and you want to stop the bleeding. And again, call your vet, let them know that you're driving in, that it is an emergency situation. Always, always, always follow up with going to the vet. If you have animals at home, use the internet and kind of look up and see how to nurture your own pet. We all have different needs and animals are the same. So thank you for your time today.
Hi, my name's Michelle and this is Wendy. And this is Izzy. She's a dwarf goat. She is a little bit older and that's why she has a sore leg. And I feel that nurturing is not, whenever I think of the word nurturing, I always think of mothers with their babies, but it can also concern anybody taking care of someone or an animal who, for any reason or in any way that they cannot take care of themselves. And so therefore we are going to wrap her leg so that she doesn't further injure it. But
What are you using to wrap it with, Michelle?
we are using a wrapping bandage, a veterinary bandage, to wrap it with so that she cannot move it. And here is how we do it.
Oh, look at her put her leg out. Maybe Izzy is saying, I need some help. My leg kind of hurts. Would you nurture it for me?
And I am wrapping it a little kind of tight, but not so tight that it blocks her blood flow
Oh, good point.
or makes her uncomfortable. So just wrap it a few times up her leg and tear it.
Good job.
And we're lucky that we have a bandage that sticks, so we don't have to use any kind of tape to hold it together. Make sure it's nice and snug. And
What a good patient. So I have this thing in my thumb. Do you think that you could put vet wrap on it too and nurture me? That's it for us. Maybe the horse lady's coming. I don't know.
Hi friends, it's Jensen here again. And today, since we're talking about nurturing, we're going to go over how we nurture some of our four-legged friends here at Sunnyside Farms. So besides we offer the most important things of food, shelter, and water for biggest nourishment, we also groom them to make sure they are nice and healthy, have a nice clean coat, and that way we can check for any scratches or ticks or anything. And we also do some medicine each day if needed. This little Miss Colleen right here kind of has a little bit of a sore spot on her chest where she's losing some hair. So this is called a hot spot where she's been kind of hot and itchy. So she's been rubbing on a wheelbarrow and it's pretty much taken all of her hair off.
Wheelbarrow?
Yeah, she rubs on a wheelbarrow because she has itchies that she can't reach.
Is it the right height then?
It is, right at her chest. So for that, we have a Vetericin hot spot spray that we spray twice daily on her areas just to help take away that itch and burn.
Colleen.
So for that, we're just gonna spray it right on there. And she has one right here on the side of her leg too that we can spray. And that's one way that we apply medicine to nurture her for the day.
She was really good about that. Are they always good about medicine?
Not always. There's some that she's a little bit picky about, but most of the time she does pretty good, but not all of that way. Now, one way that we take care of these big horses is we like to groom them and we like to check their body over. So a common place for ticks is right here behind their shoulder or underneath their chin on their neck. So we always want to make sure they're all healthy. See if there's any scratches or anything. And she's looking pretty good today. So we're going to go ahead and groom her. So we start with our curry comb to get that nasty dirt and dust that's down in her coat off. So we're going to go in circles and loosen up all this hair. Just really spoil her. All right, so we're gonna make this kind of quick, but follow up a curry comb, we're going to use our hard body brush. It has some really stiff bristles to get all that dirt and hair that we just loosened up using our curry off. So we're going to go ahead and brush all that off. And as you can see, her coat is super shiny, meaning that she's very healthy and has been nurtured very well here. We're going to go ahead and get all that off. And then one of the most important things on a horse is their feet, of course. So we use what's called a hoof pick to remove any dirt, rocks, debris that may be stuck in her feet that can make her a little bit uncomfortable. So for this, I'm gonna ask Wendy for her foot. And there's a few rocks, and we're just gonna get that right out of there. And another way we nourish their feet is with a farrier. So they have pretty strong feet, as always, but they're kind of like our nails. So they grow pretty fast, so it can be uncomfortable if they get too long. So we have a farrier that comes out and will trim their feet to make sure they are very healthy in that way. And one last thing is they have these pesky flies during the summer that like to stay on their bellies, on their legs, and their ears. So we use a fly spray just to keep them away. So we're just gonna spray her.
Can humans use that fly spray too?
It's not recommended.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
I don't like mosquitoes.
I know, but we can have bug spray. There's
Oh.
a different type for us. But this is just for horses. So that is how we nourish our horses here at Sunnyside Farms. Of course, with any other problems that pop up, we address them and nourish those as well. But they're pretty happy here. Wendy?
How do our horses nurture us in exchange? What do we do here that's really special at the farm?
So these horses are very, very therapeutic. We work on experiential therapy here. So being around horses, getting that experience, it's very calming and soothing, which kind of nurtures, oh my goodness, nurtures your own self. So it's really calming. They offer a sense of just peace and being. So it's really nice.
So come visit us at Sunnyside Farms if you need a dose of nurturing. We'd be happy to give it to you. Until then, we'll catch you next Wednesday. Have a great week and a wonderful day.